Up next, we have Clara. Good long walk. Thank you.
Let's give it up for jazz music. Just like as a genre. I've got a message for all of the white men out here in the audience tonight. Don't ever let anyone tell you that cultural appropriation isn't hard work. Okay, do you think the words to sicko mode just memorize themselves? That didn't mean to happen, but we're gonna put this down. Thank you. Do you think integrating the word deadass into your vocabulary is a passive act? No! That took time and effort. You put in those hours and I see you. You are seen. There you go. I don't think that any single group has benefited more from the creation of mumble rap than white people. Why? Because it's what we were already doing. You know, like, in the name of not wanting to, like, appropriate anyone's culture, I don't want to make any wild claims here, but I think this one might be ours. You know, like, have you ever heard a white person try to describe a rap song? It's like, oh, you know the one. It goes like, bitch. And now you say that and people are like, I fucking love that song. Very little known fact, the first instance of mumble rap ever recorded was actually at a summer camp where 4 white middle schoolers tried to perform God's Plan at their talent show. They knew 30% of the lyrics, mumbled their way through it, and we thank them for their service. I'm not one for mumble rap, but I still think I have a pretty, like, eclectic taste in music. That was until the other day. I was in an Uber, which is an annoying way to begin a sentence, but I was on the way to see my second therapist, so less of a flex than it sounds. But I was in the Uber, and the driver, he was playing James Brown, and we're listening to that for a while. He gets bored with it, I guess, starts flipping through the channels on the radio, and he stops on a station playing Kid Rock and goes, that'll do. No, it won't. You don't go from James Brown to Kid Rock. You don't go from the king of soul to a man who looks like he derives his energy from the souls of children. These two things, they're not comparable. It'd be like if you went to a restaurant and your waiter was like, oh, sir, I'm actually sorry, we're out of the filet mignon, but I can go out back and grill you an emotional support puppy. Medium rare, still your preference. As I mentioned, like, even though that this guy had this horrible taste in music, I was still the one on the way to therapy. And the mention of therapy, of course, means that we've entered the portion of the show where I fulfill my contractual obligation to update all of you on my mental health. Thank you. So I am seeing 2 therapists now. I was explaining why to my friend the other day, and I see 2 therapists now because in the past year I've developed some new mental health problems in addition to the other ones. And it's unreasonable to ask one therapist, one person, to deal with all of those problems. You know, and I was explaining this to my friend, and she goes, Clara, aren't you one person who deals with all of those problems? I was like, fuck, that's a great point. I'm going to have to process that with at least one of my therapists. This friend, this very insightful friend, she's also the one who recently referred to me as indie movie pretty. I I don't totally know what that means yet. I mean, I know that I've always been like old people pretty. Like old people pretty is when old people call you pretty, but what they really mean is like your acne is better than the last time I saw you, and your clothing is less revealing than what my granddaughter wears. So I knew it was that, but I think I've kind of figured out what indie movie pretty is. It's sort of like, it's the outline of pretty. You know, indie movie pretty is the Barbie doll in the back of the dollar store. You know, but like Barbie is spelled with a Y for copyright reasons. And the price is marked down due to a manufacturing error because like Barbie's pupil's like a little bit to the left. But it's still Barbie, you know? I'm still Barbie. I feel like some of you guys worry about my well-being sometimes when I'm up here. And I don't want you to. I don't want you to worry because I am okay. You know, I make these jokes, because I am okay. And I have anxiety, so I worry enough for the both of us. But I make these jokes because I'm okay, and as I tell my friends, like, really the only time you should actually be concerned is when I stop making these jokes. But the main reason I don't want you to worry is because I think your concern could be better spent somewhere else. Where? I'm glad you asked. The San Jose Unified School District's fingerprinting policy. I will elaborate. I started volunteering at a public middle school recently, and in order to volunteer, you have to go in and get fingerprinted. And so I went into the Human Resources Office of the San Jose Unified School District, and I go in to get fingerprinted. As it turns out, it's very difficult to fingerprint me for some reason. I don't have an explanation for that, but it seems on brand. And they're having a very hard time trying to fingerprint me, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't remember burning off my fingertips. The people at the San Jose Unified School District did not think that was very funny either. As it turns out, they take the safety of their children very seriously. But you do have to wonder how seriously, because I was recently alerted to this policy within the San Jose School the old SJUSD. It's a policy where, because they couldn't fingerprint me, I reached out to the school and I told them, hey, I won't be able to start on my normal start date because my fingerprints haven't been processed. And they write back to me and they go, actually, it's okay. We have a policy where you are allowed to volunteer a single day without fingerprint clearance. I think they are grossly underestimating the amount of damage I can do in a single day. I think they're underestimating the amount of damage anyone can do in a single day. I mean, like, I feel like I now have, like, a civic duty to, like, really go in and fuck shit up just to bring about reform. And I don't want to go in, I'm not trying to, like, emotionally scar any of the kids. I'll probably just go in and be like, hey, Kid Rock's the new James Brown, and leave. I haven't worked out the specifics yet, but the one thing I know is that if anyone from the San Jose Unified School District heard half of the things I said tonight, I really think we'd start to see some real change in this city. Thank you so much.